2014, we wondered if 16-year-old Kylie Jenner had gotten lip filler. By 2024, TikTok detectives track 15-year-old pop icons for any little hint of a nose cast or cheek swelling. The suspected list grows every single month. Disney graduates, teen reality stars, K-pop rookies, Love Island bombshells that say that they're 19 but pose with brand new veneers and lifted brows. And let me just reiterate, all of these women are in their early 20s. If we do quick math, then that must mean that they must have gotten a lot of their procedures done at like 20 years old, maybe even younger than that in Vanna's case. Is it just me, or are more and more women under the age of 22 booking consults for plastic surgery thinking that it's somehow normal? Like, I see so many TikTok before and after videos being filmed by people that are under 25. So why in the world is this happening? Why is plastic surgery so incredibly normalized for such a young generation? And is it because the procedures are actually cheaper than they've ever been before? Or is our society changing as a whole? And are Gen Z like the biggest victims? Well, you guys better buckle up, because today we are answering that exact question and giving you guys all the tea as to why people at such a young age are out here getting plastic surgery before their senior year of high school. Hello, wake up, you need help. And to the one girl that one time that told me that I got manic energy, you are absolutely right. If it wasn't obvious already, I need to tell you guys exactly why it is such an awful idea to be getting plastic surgery at such a young age. Sure, it doesn't seem like it'll do any harm after you've completely healed and you're enjoying your brand new face or body or teeth, but your skeleton is still growing well into your early 20s. Cheekbones thicken, jaws widen, noses drop a little bit, and your skin stretches to match.
So recently, we've had a lot of questions about teenage rhinoplasty. The biggest question that gets brought to my attention from social media is how young is too young. So for a young lady, the average age is about 15, as long as they pretty much have stopped growing. And for a male, it's usually around 60. That is the average age. However, if you know that you as a teenager, or your parents know that you have another 3-4 inches to go, the goal is to wait. We really want to get most of your growing completed before your rhinoplasty, but that's a general rule of thumb.
First of all, can I just say shout out to Paul Nassif? I love him so much. I'm literally just watching season 2 of Beverly Hills Housewives right now, and oh my god, him and Adrienne are my endgame. They divorced. I'm sorry. Getting a rhinoplasty at 16 or 15 just does not sit with me. That does not sit with me, bestie. If you've got a dorsal hum, baby, you can wait till you're moved out of my house. There's absolutely no way I'm letting my daughter or son getting a nose job in their teenage years. Now, I thought this was common knowledge, but I don't think it is. A surgeon who shaves bone or injects filler at 18 literally fights the natural plan. So when the rest of the face keeps shifting or growing, that artificial part can actually move. It can drift off center, tilt, or end up looking really lumpy. Fixing it later means cutting scar tissue and living with numb spots or stiff pockets that never feel normal again.
When I was 16, I had a nose job and I regret it. Not because I wish I never had it done, but because I wish I had waited. When I was 16, I didn't know the type of questions that I need to be asking, so I just went along with it. Unfortunately, the result of that was a botched nose job, and ever since I've had a very unsymmetrical nose, and I also struggle to breathe out of the right side. It has been such a struggle to find a plastic surgeon who's willing to correct the mess that was made. So my message to any young person, or in fact anyone thinking about having plastic surgery, is to make sure that you are asking the correct questions from your plastic surgeon, and don't go with anyone who you are not 100% sure on.
What are the correct questions? Great question. There are so many questions you need to be asking, but here are some initial thoughts. How experienced are they with rhinoplasty specifically? What is their signature rhinoplasty style? Stay away from surgeons doing extreme looking noses. What techniques are they doing? Open or closed, and why? What support appointments do they offer during recovery? There are so many things that people look past because all they want is this stupid thing that's in the middle of their face to be gone. So it doesn't matter how much they pay or how little they pay, they're willing to do whatever. And to be honest, I can't even imagine whether or not your parents would support this idea. At 16, I would have never, ever been able to afford to do something like that, which would mean that a lot of young people would maybe go to more inexperienced or more inexpensive plastic surgeons who maybe wouldn't do the best job.
Am I the only one that's like a little bit concerned about what's gonna happen with everyone getting plastic surgery so young? Like, it's genuinely concerning me, or I guess I'm just like, we don't have like much study around what happens when you change your face before it ever has a chance to fully develop. Because it's one thing if people are getting things as like preventative, or when you're older to like just stop sagging or whatever that might be. And even in those cases, I've heard that there's studies where filler moves and it actually like stretches the skin, which then is what requires you to get like more and more filler. There's so many girls in high school getting like nose jobs, lip fillers, like different Botox. I'm like, your face hasn't even fully developed. Like, there's a whole nother puberty you you go through around like age 20 to 25. And then I've even heard that you go through another one around 30. Like obviously our bodies are always constantly changing, but I'm like, I like it can't be good to do it that young when your body still is like filling out. And then also the fact that like, if you try like a lot of like the puffiness you have in your cheeks, and even I still have some because I'm only 22, that like is what keeps you looking youthful when you're older. But then people are wanting to remove it now because they want to look older. And I'm like, what is going on? It's kind of scary. And I just feel like we just like do it to temporarily feel better about ourselves, but not think about like the potential long-term effects of it.
So I'm going to tell you the worst part about getting a nose job at 18 years old. It's not the fact that at 15 years old, your parents started to tell you that you're going to need a nose job one day. It's not the fact that when your parents asked if you wanted the nose job at 18 years old, before your prefrontal cortex had fully developed, you said yes. It's not the fact that you hated your face so much that you agreed to a 3-hour-long surgery that left you with 2 black eyes looking like you had been punched in the face for a month after the surgery. And you couldn't breathe out of your nose because of the internal splints that they put in there. It's not the fact that removing those splints was extremely painful and caused you to pass out when they did it. The worst part about it is how it actually made my life better. It actually made me happier, made me feel more confident, made me feel better about myself. That sucks because I learned at such a young age that if you change yourself to be closer to that beauty standard that you have in your head, you will actually be happier. People will actually start to treat you better. That beauty standard works. And if you can just get closer to that beauty standard, you can improve your life. And that is the message that I learned.
What a fantastic video, because you never even think about how well it could work and how much that actually changes your perception on life, and it ages you in a mental sort of way. Even the fact that her family would go through the effort to push her, especially at a time when we're so focused on developing and we're worried about how we look and our insecurities at such a young age. Like, this is genuinely heartbreaking. These comments say the same thing. My family all gathered money to get me a nose job when I turned 15, and I think about it to this day. My flat nose bothered them so much that they made me get a nose job before I even turned 18 years old. That is despicable to me. Like, for somebody to come up with their own ideas at a certain age, that's one thing, but to make your child morph to the beauty norm just because it's what you want for them is completely disturbed. Just like I was mentioning, the brain matures late. The prefrontal cortex, the part that weighs long-term risk, finishes wiring around 25 years old. Until then, your emotions are basically messed up. A teen who absolutely hates her face today might absolutely love it at 27, but the nose job she got before prom won't be able to be fixed by anything other than a $10,000 surgery. Quick likes on social media often give a dopamine burst, which feels great, but those bursts fade fast, which ends up pushing younger people to getting more surgeries to feed that dopamine instead of just letting their features settle and age naturally. And if you told me that you were going to give me a gift card to the closest surgeon nearby when I was 18 years old and discovered that my jaw was absolutely massive, do you think for a second I would say no? Absolutely not. Like, we at that age, I don't even think I had any reason not to do crazy things and be like, oh, who cares? We're gonna live our lives. Like, I would have never said no because it was a huge insecurity, and if I could fix it right now, I would. Now, going back and looking at it, and when I see different girls with face shapes like mine, I literally screenshot them and have them all on my phone because it makes me feel amazing that I have a unique feature that some people love, some people don't, but I love it, and that's what really makes the biggest difference. Now, there are multiple reasons why younger kids are starting to go ahead and get plastic surgery, and let's take a look at the first culprit. That culprit is, it's the best thing I ever did. And imagine all of the parts of that you don't see. TikTok absolutely loves extremes. We always get a super strong hook, a happy face, a cute little before and after, and a promise that all of your insecurities can disappear with one simple payment.
I'm not telling you to get plastic surgery. All I'm saying is that if you've ever considered getting a nose job and you can do it for yourself, do it. I just had my 6-month rhinoplasty follow-up appointment today. First off, can't believe it's been 6 months. Second off, I love my little nose. She's a cutie. Very happy that I did this for myself because I've always hated.
For me, it's all terrain. Getting a rhinoplasty was the best thing I ever did for myself. Now, if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what is. If you were already on the fence and you're 17 years old swiping through the TikToks, are you kidding me? Like, that would sell me in a heartbeat. Now, the first comment, I did it and it's my biggest regret ever. Hated it before, but now I need a new word for it. Made me so depressed, been crying for months now. This totally reminds me of that wonderful girl named Talia here on YouTube, sharing her horrible journey getting her rhinoplasty and how she had awful face dysmorphia. If you guys haven't gone ahead and seen that video, I think it would give you a ton of perspective. Everybody always talks about the highlights and the benefits and, oh my God, I'm loving my life. Spring break, I'm in a thong on a yacht. But nobody ever talks about the times that it doesn't really go the way that they had planned because it feels somewhat embarrassing. What do you mean you had a mid-facelift at 28? Why? What do you mean you had a mid-facelift at 28? Yeah, it was mid. It was mid. What did that do? I don't understand. Get out of my face. You'll find the counter narrative to all of the plastic surgery cons. Influencers who say getting a lower facelift at 28 or buccal fat removal at 16 absolutely saved their confidence. The story structure is always neat. I hated a feature, I fixed it, now my life is changed for the better. 3 forces actually boost that storyline. The first is cognitive dissonance. After you drop $5,000 and endure bruises, your brain leans hard into the "it was worth it" idea to avoid admitting painful buyer's remorse. The second is algorithm reward. I'm happier than ever hooks on TikTok get a lot more clicks than "I feel the same but I paid a lot of money and I regret it." The first hook makes viewers believe that a simple plastic surgery will fix all of their problems forever. So of course they go ahead and leave a like. But if it's a negative video that doesn't show some sort of outrageous botched result, most viewers aren't going to care and they're probably going to scroll away. And the third is sponsorship. Clinics trade discount codes for glowing testimonies. The happiest patients that are willing to promote whatever it is that they want will obviously get the partnerships. So they feed all the glamorous looks to all of the different women that maybe would potentially be interested in buying into these plastic surgery services. And this is the only part that the viewers actually see. Honestly, I can't even tell you how many times I have fell victim to this all over my For You page, seeing different people doing baby Botox, doing a little bit of filler, doing a little lip flip. And of course, in the video, I'm like, bro, yeah, she looks great. She looks beautiful, beautiful before, beautiful after. And oh my God, I end up spiraling. I'm going, am I doing that? Am I gonna get toxed? No, I'm not. No, we don't see the account where somebody literally can't chew properly because of nerve damage, or the one where filler migrated so close to their eye that they needed to spend over $2,000 just in order to dissolve it. It is an actual mess under some circumstances. Survivorship bias paints the entire industry in a very bright and beautiful light. But of course, there's a reason why all of these videos are flooding all over your FYP. And it might be the fact that plastic surgery is becoming more normalized as time goes on. I wonder this a lot with the brand new transparency movement, where people are being very open and sharing very honestly all about the work that they've had done, whether it was 400 different surgeries, or they just got a little bit of lip filler, or they're bringing you along to get their eyelids done, because this transparency makes people feel more comfortable in the idea that everybody is getting surgery, so why can't I also get surgery? Does that mean that there was potentially a benefit to being more secretive, because maybe it stopped so many young people from moving ahead and doing something like this? So this begs the question, is plastic surgery actually becoming normal? Yes, it is, and the numbers are there to prove it. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons logs roughly 3 times as many facial filler sessions now as in 2010. TikTok hashtags for lip flip or baby Botox run into the billions. Billions? That's insane.
I was watching Brooke Schofield's latest video about her surgery. You know, she got upper bleph, and she was responding to a rude comment basically saying, look, do y'all want us to be honest or not? Because you come at influencers and, you know, celebrities for not being honest about the procedures they're getting, and you say things like, oh, I'm not mad she got the procedure, I'm mad she's not being honest. But then people like me who are honest, and Brooke has been honest about every single procedure she's ever gotten, her boob job, her filler, her Botox, all of it. She's been honest, but people are still rude, and people will still say, oh, you're being a bad influence. You're making it seem like this is what young girls need to be out here doing. And her thing is, I actually feel like I'm being a good influence because I'm making it clear that this didn't just all come naturally. I didn't just wake up like this. Like,
that is such a good point. That is a very heavy and very important point that we always need to make, is being able to share with each other, like, okay, no, like, my boobs aren't 450 cc low profile, half under the muscle Kylie Jenner. Like, they didn't just come with like a VS bombshell push-up bra. No. Then you're kind of squashing those expectations that people have that we're gonna morph into some sort of goddess-like plastic surgery created body when we're like 15, hoping we're gonna turn out like Kylie Jenner when we're just not.
I paid for it. I went and got the work done, and I'm being honest about that and not setting unrealistic beauty standards. And I will say, I agree with her to an extent. I do think it's good when people are transparent about their procedures. I'm not saying everyone has to be, but I do think it's a good thing for people to understand that, like, yes, these are procedures people are getting. They did not wake up with perfectly perky boobs, right? Like, so I do appreciate that. But the thing that I think we also need is more people being transparent about all the procedures they're not getting.
100%. And also something to add, it is very fair if you're going to be transparent and open up on the internet, like Brooke has opened up about getting her eyelids done for this example. And if you say, hey guys, I got my eyelids done, people can say, why did you do that? If you're being honest and willing and open to share, people are going to have backlash. And sometimes in the idea of what a regular woman would do or want or how they would deal with their body or what they would choose to do, everybody is going to have a different opinion. And once people start going overboard, it's kind of like you're the sister that's like, hey bestie, like, you don't need to be doing so much filler. The filler's starting to get weird. Like Vanna from Love Island, where it was kind of like somebody needed to tell her, like, it was becoming uncanny valley, it was becoming too much. And I think that that's where it's totally normal. If you're going to share with your audience or the entire world that you're getting X, Y, and Z done, people are going to have opinions. But anyone in the public eye like that is a product, i.e. they're getting all these procedures to keep the images right. That's also true too. Why do we need to do that when we're not public figures? Everyone is thinking about themselves too much. What's next? Lasering off the lines on our palms and knuckles? It's effing eyelid skin and normal, and to get surgery to remove it is mentally ill. I don't give a F. I mean, like, sometimes I think we need hobbies. Like, I always think to myself, if I look at my face a little too long and I start going, do a little bit. I'm like, get outside, girl. Get outside. Drive that truck somewhere and go sit and have a beer by the water. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to take your hiking boots and go up the damn mountain because you're spending a little too much darn time looking at your 11s.
What I find interesting, the normalization of plastic surgery in women nowadays. Girls are graduating high school and getting boob jobs and nose jobs as their graduation gifts. When I was in high school, I got a card with some money in it. And I'm not hating on anyone. Do whatever makes you happy. Hell, I'm using a filter right now because I look like a little gremlin. I also live in Scottsdale, and everybody out here pretty much has stuff done. And I start looking at myself and I'm like, maybe I should get my lips done. Maybe I need a little poke here. Plastic surgery is just so normalized nowadays. It used to be such a taboo topic. Everyone's physical insecurities nowadays can be fixed with a needle and surgery.
Exactly. But the idea of normal is not the same as harmless or pressure-free. Cigarettes were normal in the 1960s. Fast fashion hauls are normal now, but they absolutely wrecked the planet. Normal just means familiar. The danger hides in how quickly casual talk erases the medical reality. Needles, downtime, and anatomical risk. When everyone jokes about getting a quick tweak in their lunch break, the serious weight of a decision suddenly evaporates. And with how easily people can just go ahead and get procedures done, there's also the worry that plastic surgery is now cheaper than it ever has been, which makes the barrier to entry much lower. Now, I want to know, is plastic surgery actually cheaper than it ever has been? Technically, yes. In major US cities, average lip filler prices are down 15% from 2018, thanks to more competition and watered down training rules. Overseas packages slash costs even further. A $2,000 nose job in Turkey would cost anywhere upwards of $9,000 in Los Angeles. You went to Mexico for a facelift because it's cheaper. God forbid a girl wants to save a buck or $25,000 and help others to do the same. I didn't do this to save money, although saving $25,000 definitely doesn't hurt. I did it because I believe women deserve more options and better options. Choosing to have surgery, especially in another country, isn't easy. It takes research, planning, courage, and yeah, a little bit of faith in yourself. That's why I'm working on something special behind the scenes right now. If you ever thought about getting a facelift or just dreamed about taking your confidence back, stick around. I was just quoted $15,000 plus tax in Canada. I paid about $9,000 for a facelift, upper and lower bluff, neck lift, CO2 resurfacing, and a nose job. I just returned from Tijuana, where I got a face and neck lift, upper and lower bluff, fat transfer to the lips, $10,000, top-notch care and facilities. Wow, the girlies are sharing info, and there you have it. That is insanely well priced. But let's talk about the fact that, of course, just like a cheap shirt, cheap surgeries have a lot of drawbacks. Lower price usually equals factory line scheduling, rushed consultations, bargain brand filler, or surgeons who trained in a 2-day seminar. Post-op touch-ups, fixing lumps, or treating infection can sometimes double the original quote. A cut-rate flight across the world, literally to get a surgery done, also means that if something feels a little bit off 2 weeks later, your doctor is a 12-hour plane ride away. The price tag might drop, sure, but what happens when all these things go sideways and you end up having to pay double, or the exact same amount you would have paid if you just stayed in Canada or America? Cheaper work also lowers the mental speed bump. It causes you not to think much about a procedure you're about to undergo because it's so inexpensive. If a nose job costs less than a MacBook, then the comparison starts to feel a little bit funny. One lasts 4 years and one lasts forever. Eventually, surgery starts to fall into the same impulse buy category as literally buying a designer handbag, even though the stakes are wildly different and many times you are putting your life on the line. And these stakes actually seem less scary when we take a look at Gen Z's biggest culprit as to why plastic surgery is becoming so incredibly popular. And that is FOMO, the fear of missing out. Older generations chased college diplomas or sometimes their first homes only a few decades ago. But now Gen Z grows up with the obsession with engagement and a refresh on their activity feed every 90 seconds. When trends shift in weeks, a year feels ancient. That pace breeds time famine, the panic that if you don't upgrade right now, you'll age out of relevance. And it isn't just your face either. Gen Z is constantly being forced to find a job faster, to get a house faster, to earn money faster. It is a never-ending toxic cycle that they're stuck in, which also inevitably affects how Gen Z looks at their very own appearance. It's actually crazy saying that out loud because I live to go fast. Like, vroom, vroom, girls, get out of the way. Like, why is it I'm going to the gym and I need to be panting in the parking lot because I'm running in there? Why are we running? Why am I speeding? Did I just admit to a crime?
If you are miserable at your job, you're not alone. 98% of Gen Z is burned out by a new report. Pause. Gen Z is 26 to 12 years old. And 98% of us are just like bags under our eyes with a cup of Joe. That's a rough number. Here's a breakdown on numbers. This is a survey done by Cigna. 23% of young workers are saying that they're dealing with unmanageable stress. I can't find a true definition for unmanageable stress. I've been Googling it. But I can find that similar is long-term stress. So that can come from your physical environment, your job, your relationship with others, your home, all the situations.
The main issue is that we're working just as hard as previous generations, but we can't afford anything that they used to. House, vacations, fun activities. I'm so tired. I don't want to work anymore. I'm 46. Bro, I think about it all the time. Like, I'm 27. I have a lot of time to go. I'm going to be working for a long time. Me explaining that Gen Zs are obsessed with saving TikToks and IG posts because of FOMO. We see things that we want to do, cook, see, so we save it for later, but we never end up doing them because there's way too much cognitive overload in our saved collections, so we end up hating ourselves for always being online and planning cool things in our heads, but never actually doing them. She popped off with that. I'm gonna save this one too. Bro, I think my saves on TikTok, hold on. I actually just want to expose myself because I'm a big, like, I love a good save and I'm a hella Gen Z. Like, I love a good save on TikTok. Hold on. Okay, no, this is not normal. Can you see that, girls? 22,000? What are you gonna do with those? Plastic surgery slots neatly into that fear. Get on camera and show your beautiful plastic surgery face before social media crowns somebody else. Freeze your baby wrinkles before they show. Get your lips done because your lips are way too thin and guys don't like thin lips. Shut up. Clinics even market using the language of deadlines. Book before summer. Limited time drop. Limited time pricing. Only 3 appointments left and you better have one of them or you're gonna be ugly. Like, or what? Like, I'm sorry, like, why do I have to rush to do anything? And young brains primed by fast-moving social loops grab the bait, obviously. But the irony is the clock is just not real at all. The average life expectancy in developed countries tops well over 80 years old. But social media runs on 24-hour stories, so the way that you understand timelines can actually warp. And of course, because panic is profitable, a 17-year-old might feel totally late to perfection because all she can see on her FYP is 16-year-old girls with post-op rhinoplasties that they got for their sweet 16. Clinics and influencers are going to keep on posting and putting out this content into the world. Now, this is all just to say that plastic surgery, of course, is not evil. The real danger is in the speed. Moving from insecurity to operating table before your brain can even understand what you're doing is completely messed up. And when your brain hasn't even stopped growing, you guys, we can't. If any of you guys are 16, stop. Don't go. Please, I'll be there. I'm pulling your ankles. Girl, don't go. Give your bones a chance to finish the blueprint that nature wrote. Spend those early years learning your best angles, doing your makeup, getting really healthy, moving around, playing your favorite sports, going to the gym, and just overall growing your confidence. Because when you're in your teenage years, that's exactly what happens. We just are going through phases where we need to become more confident. Some days you'll feel like $1,000,000. Some days you'll feel horrible. Like, that was literally my entire 13 to 18 loop. Do things that upgrade and grow with you without charging any sort of revision fees. Because let's be for real, in 5 years, a billionaire for some reason is going to completely popularize knobby noses and soft jaw structures, RIP for me. And the exact same internet that told you so badly that you need to carve yourself to perfection will pretend that they never said so. Let that pendulum swing and go right back and forth without you dragging your beautiful face into it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please throw a big fat that thumbs up and also comment down below. Have you guys been subject to plastic surgery at a young age? I would really love to hear your stories because I think that that is absolutely mind-boggling. I can't even believe that people in their teens are getting nose jobs, but I also understand it is a huge pain point for a lot of people. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you can go ahead and click here to find out all about why nose jobs are completely destroying your face. Just stop. You don't need to do a nose job. You don't need to do a rhinoplasty. Your God-given nose is the perfect snooter, girl. If you can sniff, it's a gift. Like, off the dome. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, what am I supposed to say with these one-liners? Or you guys can go ahead and click here to learn about why fillers are literally the devil. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I love you, and I only make these videos because I truly want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.